What's going on? Let's talk about Aer's brand new Simple Kit. This little guy has made me second think a little bit about the way I view and use tech pouches as well as DOP kits, given its refreshingly simple design, hence the name, of course. They came out with their Simple Pouch 6 to 7 months ago, which is really not hugely different with the important exception of the dimensions, and I feel like it was more marketed as being something that you wear kind of like a sling, where this I think you can absolutely wear as a sling, but it serves a lot better as a pouch. I'll talk about my favorite things about it. Nitpicks, do I have any? Maybe, we'll get to that. I'll show you a couple different loadouts, one using it as a tech pouch and then one using it as a DOP kit. As someone that's been using a 1 liter wash pouch and a 1 liter tech pouch, it's made me think, do I even need that? So let's get into it. In terms of what I like the most about it are the white ultra, like Aer, give us more white ultra across your ultra lines. Secondly, the fact that despite the fact that it is insanely slim, that it stands on its own for the most part, as long as you have like pretty much anything in there. And then lastly, the expandability, which helps you really control the overall footprint depending on how much or how little you're taking. As far as the Ultra goes, Aer launched in like summer of 2024, their Ultra line. And really the only products that come in this white Ultra in particular, if I'm not mistaken, is their Simple Tote and their Simple Pouch, and now in the Simple Kit. I freaking love it. I think it looks great. I'd love to see like their City Pack 2, City Pack Pro 2, their Sling in this white Ultra variant as well. Color is of course a very subjective thing, but it's got like a dystopian futuristic vibe going on. Stormship Trooper, can't help but have that association with it. I really dig the look of the white Ultra. Second thing that I really like is typically when you're going for a pouch and you're compromising on having a bulkier pouch that gives you great organization, these slimmer pouches typically aren't able to stand on their own. Now, right now for the video, just to ensure that it stands, I just have my GAN charger. As you can see, like I took it out and now it's completely empty. And because it's so light, like literally, I think it's like pretty much the weight of the zippers, it is standing on its own. Wow, it's doing a great job, but I guess like where I'm getting at, it's not gonna stand 100% of the time when it's empty, but like you're not gonna be using it when it's empty, right? So even if I throw something, let me just like put something super light, like just AirPods, then bam, oops, maybe not, but I think it passes the standability test, the fact that that's all the weight, and obviously you're gonna be carrying more than that. If you look at the bottom of this, you have a gusseted design that helps with the expandability, which is my next point. But even when you put it like flat, it just kind of naturally opens up just enough. So you don't have to be like thinking about like opening it. Yeah, I guess you only have an AirPod in there, but really the way I have it packed out, you're not thinking about it. But given the structure of Ultra, if you just give it a little flattening on the bottom, then she's gonna stand for you very reliably. And then the last thing that I really like is the expandability. Candidly, at half a liter, I was like, okay, that's cute. You know, like I'll probably be able to fit some of the stuff that I'm fitting in my other pouches, but I'll show you now as I walk you through it, 2 different loadouts, and literally without making any compromises as far as what I was putting in here, I was able to fit like pretty comfortably all of the things that I take in my 1 liter pouches, and a lot of that comes from expandability. But if you're going to be using this pouch for carrying even less than what I'm carrying, I think just being able to minimize the overall footprint in your bag will be super helpful. I mean, yes, this is a pretty niche product, but I think for anyone that is pretty minimal with what they carry, maybe you live overseas where they have really strict requirements about bag dimensions, bag weight, and you're one bagging it, I think this is gonna make for a, like I would definitely be using something like this if I didn't live in the US. where I was like, I really rarely come into those sorts of restrictions. So I end up typically opting for something that's like a little bit bulkier, but I get just better organization and all of that good stuff. But as far as nitpicks go, I was literally like yesterday, just like had it on my desk. I'm like, I mean, the channel is Nitpacker, right? Like, I'm gonna focus on the things that I really, really like, but I also want to lean in on my naturally nitpicky nature to also let people know the things that, at least based off of my preferences, kept me from not loving that specific product as much as I should. And I like don't really have an issue. It's usually like pretty effortless, like identifying those things even early on as I'm using them. But I don't have any. Like, I literally don't have any nitpicks. So like, you might as well just unsubscribe from the channel now. Like, I have no value in that sense. I think given what this product is specifically intended for, right? Which is no frill, pretty much no organization, just a really well-constructed, using an indestructible material pouch that is strong, lightweight, and for people that don't really care too much about having a dedicated compartment for all of their things, because if you want those things, like, you can get that within Aer's product line or beyond their product line. So many other brands that have those things. I don't know. Like, I cannot think of a single one. Like, as I'm like saying this, and this isn't even like a personal nitpick, but just to like throw something in there, like, there's no place for an Aer tag, which is like one of those things that, like, I honestly, like, I don't personally care about that whatsoever, but I'm just trying to like cover as many bases as possible. Like, if you're carrying a lot of valuable stuff and like you want your Aer tag in your tag pouch, that's pretty much it, dude. That's all I can give you. So anyways, I'm curious if anyone gets it, or just from watching the video, what I'll show you, like, what do you not like about it? Let me know. I'll walk you through it now and give you a couple different loadouts. Okay, so like I said, this is as minimal as it gets. Pretty much when it comes to organization, you get segmented, a main compartment, and then a smaller one in the front. You get really nice stretch mesh fabric that I think just makes the compartment more versatile, right? Like, when you're not putting a lot of stuff in here, whatever's in the main compartment can take up more of that space, or vice versa. And then the other nice thing about the stretch mesh is that, what did I do with it? Oh yeah, the AirPod is in here. You get kind of like a springy rebound effect, right? So if you've got something like AirPods, it's just like easier, I would say, just to like snag stuff because of that component to it. So other than that, like, the whole entire fabric, there's no liner on the inside. You get like the laminate side on the inside of their 200X challenge sailcloth that they're using. And that's it, like, just like a main compartment. You have nothing else. You've got a couple different loops here. So technically, if you want to go sling mode on this, you absolutely can. I know the Simple pouch is more marketed as that. And yeah, you get like the rear concealed compartment that I think is definitely very practical. But form factor wise, this one is more rectangular, whereas the other one's almost squarish. That one's like 9x7-ish, and this one's like 9x4-ish. So for me, I know this is like a dumb take, but I think with the Simple pouch that is more squarish, it's got more of like a, you know, purse vibe going on from a sling standpoint, whereas this one, if you want to rock it as a sling, I feel like as a dude, I feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more in my element wearing something like this. But personally, yeah, who knows? I mean, like, I'm pretty minimal with what I carry for a sling, so I think it would make for a good sling. I just have been using it primarily as a pouch. Yeah, let me show you what I throw in there. As a tech pouch, just here in the front compartment, pen, AirPods, carry this little like USB-C to lightning adapter. That way I don't have to carry more than one cable. I just stick to the single USB-C. throw that in there, and just little Woobin G5 flashlight. Not that I'm always carrying this thing, but you know what? I've got extra space, so why not just throw it in there? I'm saving so much weight with this Ultra 200X challenge sailcloth. And then on the inside, 6-foot USB-C cable, GAN charger brick. And then with something like this, like if you want to be minimal, this is like the Anker Maggo, like the slimmer magnetic charger. Like with that, like this thing like fits all of that like a glove. The mobile battery bank that I've been using from Anker, like their Nano 3-in-1, is definitely like bulkier. It's like, man, yeah, it's a lot bulkier than this guy from just like a depth standpoint, but it also fits in here, no problem. That's pretty much it. Like, why do I need a 1 liter, right? Like, I've been using like mainly the Evergoods Cap 1 Peak Design small tech pouch. Now I just like have like different tech pouches for different like very like niche things, storing types of cables. But for day to day, like, yes, I don't get the, you know, like open it up and like just slip it into that specific compartment where it goes, and it's not as satisfying per se, but at the same time it's like, who cares? Like this is a satisfying product to use, I will say. Just like the Ultra material feels great. Like the PU coated zippers, yes, they're newer, they're a little stiffer because they're PU coated, but they're just horizontal zips, right? So it's like, speaking of zipper smoothness, Pilgrim Trim Butter zipper smoothness, like eight, 9, like they're easy. Like they're honestly just like when you go into the world of 9.0 and above, it's like, that's where I'm like, ooh, I look forward to zipping and unzipping, and I don't not look forward to these, but they're like just slightly below that threshold. They still feel great. So yeah, if like looking at that and that's what you carry, or you carry less than that, like, and you don't care so much about the micro-organization component, such a good option. Let's take it out. I'll show you like from a DOP kit standpoint. As a DOP kit, because this material is so water resistant, like essentially like waterproof, like absolute overkill for really for anything, because in the end of the day, like this is a tech pouch. If you live in a place where you're like genuinely concerned about your tech getting carried, and you are carrying tech, including a laptop, you should probably like protect the backpack itself that you're carrying. Something like this, I feel like this would be a little less important, unless you don't carry a laptop and then you've got all of your like stuff that's electronic protected. But yeah, for a wash pouch, right? Oops. Electric toothbrush, take off the head, put it in the front compartment. Nail clipper, I'll just keep the toothpaste in the same compartment as the toothbrush, so I don't have to go into 2 separate places for that. And then floss, like that's the bulk of the less bulky stuff. And then the one thing I don't put in here, because it would just be like pretty uncomfortable, but candidly, even like my DOP kit that I've been using is just like the Peak Design, their small wash pouch. Even with this one, where I do have the space, my electric razor, which I need to probably look at a better option for just travel. Like, I know there's a lot more compact versions, but I just end up taking this guy. I just throw it in my suitcase. It's not like a huge deal. But yeah, in the main compartment, deodorant. Stand it vertically, and then little face wash, Q-tips, face cream, don't judge, and then a small scissor. These are like below the threshold lengthwise, like 4 inches the blade so that like I've taken it internationally all over. And I'm a weirdo with scissors. I cut my hair, but we'll talk about that on another story. Yeah, so that's everything I carry. Yes, I think when I go into like drop kit mode, it does feel a little bit tighter in here, but it's also one of those things, like the main thing that's like making it tighter is this guy right here. So usually like at destination, just like take that out, take the toothbrush, the toothpaste out, and then everything else is like pretty easily accessible and clutter-free, and it stands on its own, which makes it a great option. So it works, it works. I am definitely like, do I get another one of these and just like screw the world and just live life to the fullest? Anyways, definitely an option. So yeah, final thoughts. At the time of recording this, I don't know how much it costs. So yeah, maybe it's just like, for what it is, the purpose that it serves, I think, yeah, like this is a niche product for your ultra maximizer. I really like ultra. But if this is not gonna break the bank and you're looking to optimize your setup as much as possible and you really value having something that's gonna be slim, it's not gonna weigh much, you're gonna get something that is tough as nails, like this 200X Ultra, I don't know how less strong it is in the 400X that they're using across like their bags and the vast majority, if not the rest of all their products. It's kind of nice that they went down to 200X. I think it's overkill as is, but Ultra as a fabric is like 10 to 15 times stronger than steel per gram, incredibly weather resistant and abrasion resistant. So if you're like, yeah, I just want something that's gonna last me for freaking ever, you're rough with your things, you wanna be able to beat it up, and you're also the kind of person that you don't really care about organization, right? Like having a little dedicated sleeve for all of your things, right? You just are a stasher and a dasher. Is that a thing? Well, let's call it. You like to just stash your stuff, not think twice about where it goes. Yeah, I think price aside, it is good. And this white Ultra, man, it is sexy. It is really, really sexy. They come out with the City Pack 2 Ultra white. It's gonna look good. It would look really, really good. Maybe it might be too much white, but I like it. That's it. Best of luck. Cheers.